Hey, so this one is a question I get asked a lot, a real lot, and so I thought I'd make a video separately about that. I've actually talked about this in other videos that I made, but maybe it gets lost in the other information. So this is about what happens when you have someone you're copying. They're in your portfolio. If I go to my portfolio, here's the people I'm copying at the moment. So let's say you want to close one of those copies. You go and you click here, stop copying, and what happens? It doesn't actually close. It says pending close over here, pending close. And you think, all right, pending close, so you leave it a while. Maybe it's going to take a few minutes, maybe it's going to take a couple of hours, maybe it's going to take a day. And you'll come back maybe a day later, or even 2 days later can happen, or 3, unusual, but it can happen, and it still says pending close. Now people start to panic, and at that point they think, oh my god, I remember when it first happened to me. I thought, I just had no idea what was going on there. I thought, what's this about? What's pending close? And then I kind of worked it out. So it's fairly simple. It's not really something to hugely worry about. There may be other reasons why this would happen. I have yet to see one. What I'm going to tell you is the only reason I have seen so far why pending close can stay there. So, when you copy someone, obviously, if I go into Mr. Thor here, he's trading. All these trades here are the ones that he's made, that I've made via him, alright? So he's bought these things or sold these things, he's trading these things, and I'm trading them as well. So if I want to go to his actual profile, I go to Mr. Thor and I go to his portfolio. This is what all the things Mr. Thor's trading. But in my portfolio view, if I click on him here, it shows all the things I've copied through him. There may be some slight differences, because maybe some of the trades, they were too small, under $1, and I couldn't open them. There might be a discrepancy. But here, these are actual my trades. These are now live trades, which I've done via him, okay? So, Ripple, that and Ethereum, both cryptos, Dash, AMD is a New York tech exchange stock, all right? So it's an equity, a stock, which is sold on the New York Stock Exchange. I think Momo is as well. British Airways is traded somewhere in the States. These are, no it's not, BA, what am I talking about? BA is Boeing, yeah it is, it's not British Airways, it's Boeing, BA. I don't know why it's showing Bitcoin there. BA is Boeing, should have been British Airways, but there we are, it's Boeing. That's also an American stock. Every stock that someone has, which when you copy them, you look in their thing, all of these stocks, they're all traded on a specific exchange, okay? Cryptos are traded in a lot of places, hence they're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're the only thing on here, which I think is. The other ones all have their own specific home, okay? Well, the commodities do as well. They're traded around the world, so. But Apple has its own home, CVS has its own home. They all have their own native exchange, okay? Now, most of what he's trading here are American. They're US stocks, so they'll be on the New York Stock Exchange or whatever. Sometimes, though, one of the stocks in the portfolio or that you're copying via someone, the exchange for it isn't open at the time that you close the copy, okay? So whenever you close a copy, what this does is it tries to close the positions on all of your trades, all right? So if I close the copy on Mr. Thor right now, which I'm not going to because he's doing well, all of these will have to close. So it will close Ripple, it will close my Ethereum, it can do that at the moment. It can close my AMD because the American Stock Exchange is open. It can probably close MU, Momo, I can't, all of these, I think the exchanges which they're traded on are open at the moment, Much in the same way, if you go and buy Tesla, if you're in London, and you try and buy Tesla at 9 in the morning, you can't buy Tesla because the exchange that it's traded on, the American exchanges, aren't open yet. So it will turn it into an order, and at 3:30 or 2:30, it would be in England, whatever, when the exchange opens, then your order will be executed and you'll suddenly have Tesla. You can only buy something when it's actually open, all right? Otherwise, it turns it into an order automatically. When the exchange is open, it has to be. Same with selling. You can only sell something when the exchange it's traded on is open. So basically, if it's pending close, have a look through all of the things that you've traded via that copy, and just look for any ones where you're not sure where they're traded, okay? This very often happens on the weekend. So people on late Friday night think, all right, I'm going to close this copy. They close it late Friday night. The London exchanges are open, the European exchange, London exchanges are closed. Sorry, European exchanges are closed, American exchanges are closed, and they're closed all weekend. The exchanges aren't open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They work 5 days a week, and it's quite limited hours. I don't know, it's 7 or 8 hours a day. I used to think the exchanges were always open. You can always buy or sell. No, they're open for a specific time during the day and for specific days during the week, usually Monday to Friday. So have a look through. So people normally they'll do that on Friday. So Friday night they're closed. Saturday they're all closed. They're out, in the Hamptons or in the Bahamas or whatever they do. They're making a lot of money. They're on holiday on the weekend or at home asleep because they work a lot. Still pending. People start to get really freaked out. Saturday it's still pending. Why is it still pending? Because the markets, the exchanges are closed. Sunday, still pending because the exchanges are still closed. It's Sunday. So they have to wait usually till Monday when the markets reopen. So that'll be earlier in the morning if it's the London or European exchanges. And it will be the afternoon on Monday. If you're in Europe, it will be the afternoon on Monday when the American exchanges open. And then, when those exchanges open, it will be able to close out the relevant deals which are traded on those exchanges. Second that happens, your copy position will be closed and the money will be returned back to your available balance. But until those exchanges are open, it's going to say pending close. Now, one time I've seen this happen, and I've mentioned this before, and you might be watching this, so again, thank you for that example. I saw it happen where it was 4 days in a row. And so it was Friday he'd closed it, I think, and so Friday night it was pending close. He closed it just after the market, on Friday. Friday night pending close, Saturday pending close, Sunday pending close, Monday it was still pending close. He's freaking out. That's 4 days. Something must have gone terribly wrong. And so he asked, what's this? So I went and looked at his portfolio. And what I found, much like, okay, so if I go here, the Jay and Mr. Thor usually trading US tech stocks and some other things and cryptos. If I go to Mr. Fastic here and I look there's, cryptos and some things and da-da-da. If I go down the page, if I keep going down, I'm going to find this one here. You see that? By rwe.de. So if you ever want to know where an asset is traded, say rwe.de, just type it in, rwe.de. It'll come up there, click it, and over here on the right, it tells you a bit about it. RWE AG is a German electric utilities company that owns numerous power plants in Germany, all right? The United Kingdom and the Netherlands. Owns power plants in a lot of places. Frankfurt, so it's classed as a utility and it's traded in Frankfurt. That's its native home exchange, right? So you can only buy and sell this when the Frankfurt exchange is open. You can look up the exchange times. There's lots of sites on the internet where you can find out when are the different exchanges open and closed. This one's traded on Frankfurt. So what happened is he had got another one, I think it was Volkswagen.de, and I looked through his portfolio, they're all there, it's pending close, and there was a Volkswagen one in there. So I went, and that's obviously it's traded in Germany as well, so I went and looked at the German exchanges, and it just so happened that on that Monday there was a German public holiday, the exchanges were closed, so it couldn't sell his German stock, okay, so it couldn't close it. So it had been open Friday night because the exchanges were already closed, Saturday closed, Sunday closed, and Monday, the German, he had one stock which was German, one of them, and it was that one, and because that one couldn't close, the entire copy couldn't close. So it was keeping the entire copy open, waiting for all of them to finally be sold before it closed it and returned the money to his available balance. So we worked this one out, and then on Tuesday, when the German exchanges opened again, boom, it got sold, it got closed, that position, and the money was returned to his available balance. So that's the usual thing. Anything you want to find, anything, if you can find any stock that you can find in here, First Solar, okay, FSLR, FSLR. If you're not sure, just do that. It's traded on the New York, and it's a technology stock. So you can find them all by looking that way. Very simple. So have no fear. I have yet to see another reason why it says pending close. So do a little investigative work. The one which is pending close, go through it, have a look at the stocks and check if the exchange which that stock is traded on is actually open at the moment and when it will next be open. Because most likely, whenever that exchange is next open, that's when your copy will close and the money will come back to your available balance. And then you can go off and do what you want with it. There we are. Hope that helped.